If you stay with me for the next minutes, you will learn something that can completely change the way you study language. Most people try to learn by reading books or memorizing grammar rules, but they never discover something much simpler, much more natural, and much more powerful. Today, you'll understand why podcasts can become your strongest tool for learning a new language, and how listening can slowly transform the way your mind absorbs English. So breathe slowly, relax, and let your journey begin. Welcome to this calm and gentle episode of Unlocked English. I'm happy you're here, and I hope this moment becomes a soft, peaceful space for learning. Today we're going to explore something very special: how you can learn a language using podcasts. Many learners feel lost and confused when they start their journey. They search for the perfect method, the perfect book, the perfect course. But what they really need is something simple, natural, and easy to connect with. Podcasts offer exactly that. If you are listening to this podcast right now, you're already using one of the most effective learning tools in the world. But maybe you don't know why. Maybe you don't understand how listening can help your brain grow. Maybe you wonder if listening is enough or if you need to do more. In this episode, we will talk about all that slowly, gently, and clearly. You don't need to take notes. You don't need to repeat after me. You only need to listen and relax. Let's begin with a simple idea. Your brain learns language through sound. Before you learn to read, before you learn to write, before you learned any grammar rules, you listened. Listening is the first natural step in language learning. It is the foundation. And podcasts bring listening back into your life in a modern, simple, and comfortable way. Think about this for a moment. When you were a child, you listened to your parents, your family, the people around you. You listened every day. You listened while playing, eating, running, laughing, sleeping, resting. You heard the language constantly. Your brain absorbed the sounds, the rhythm, the pronunciation, the structure. You didn't study. You didn't worry. You didn't feel pressure. You were relaxed, and the language entered your mind naturally. Podcasts recreate that experience. You can listen while you walk. You can listen while you cook. You can listen while you rest. You can listen before sleep. You can listen when your mind is calm, when your body is relaxed, when you are ready to feel the language instead of fighting with it. Let's breathe again. In and out. Slowly. Now, let's explore why podcasts are so powerful for language learning. Podcasts give you exposure to real language, the kind of language people use naturally, not the artificial sentences in textbooks. When you listen to a podcast, you hear real voices, real stories, real emotions, real rhythm. You hear English in its natural form. This helps your brain get used to the sound of the language. Another reason podcasts are powerful is because they create repetition. When you listen to the same words, sentences, and ideas many times, your brain begins to remember them automatically. You don't need to force anything. The repetition happens naturally. Now, let's talk about something even deeper. Listening creates a direct connection between your mind and the language. When you listen without reading, without translating, without analyzing grammar, your brain develops a natural understanding. You begin to understand meaning through context, emotion, and tone. This kind of learning is deep and long-lasting. Podcasts also help you learn in a relaxed way. When you are relaxed, your brain is more open to learning. When you listen to a calm voice, like the one you are hearing now, your mind releases tension. Your breathing slows down. your body becomes comfortable. And in this state, the language enters your memory more easily. When I started learning languages myself, I did not have podcasts. I used CDs, radio shows, and old audio materials. I listened to them again and again. I didn't understand everything at first, but little by little, the language became familiar. I began to recognize sounds. I began to notice patterns. I began to understand without translation. That feeling was warm and exciting. It made me love the learning process. Today, podcasts make this experience much easier and more accessible. Now let's explore how listening helps you build your vocabulary. When you listen to a podcast, you hear words in context. You do not hear random lists. You hear words connected to ideas, stories, emotions. You hear how the words are used, how they sound, how they work together. This helps your brain remember them naturally. You also learn pronunciation through listening. Reading can help you see a word, but only listening helps you hear how it should sound. Podcasts give you real pronunciation, real intonation, real rhythm. You can copy these sounds. You can feel them. This is something textbooks cannot give you. Now take a deep breath. In and out. Podcasts also help you build confidence. When you listen regularly, you start to feel more comfortable with the language. At first, everything feels strange and new, but after some time, the sound becomes familiar. You begin to understand more without trying. Your brain slowly adapts. Confidence grows naturally. Another beautiful thing about podcasts is that you can control the experience. You can choose a voice you like. You can choose a topic you enjoy. You can choose the speed. You can choose the mood. Learning becomes personal. Learning becomes enjoyable. Now, let's talk about why listening is powerful even when you don't understand everything. Many learners feel frustrated when they cannot understand every word. They think they are not learning. They feel lost. They feel slow. But this is not true. In fact, not understanding everything is normal, and it is part of natural learning. Your brain is always learning something, even when you don't notice it. When you listen to English, your mind is absorbing patterns. You are learning. The rhythm, the melody, the structure, the common words, the pronunciation, the sound flow. You do not need full understanding. You only need exposure. The rest happens naturally. Now let your breathing slow down again. In and out. Let's explore the emotional side of learning with podcasts. Learning a language can feel stressful. You may feel nervous when speaking. You may feel confused when reading. You may feel pressure when studying grammar. But listening to a calm podcast helps reduce that stress. It creates a safe and peaceful environment where your mind can open. Imagine this. You're sitting on your bed or walking outside or lying down with your eyes closed. You are listening to a soft English voice. You feel calm. You feel relaxed. You feel comfortable. This emotional connection helps your mind accept the language. It helps your brain store the sounds in a deeper place. Another reason podcasts help is because they build consistency. Learning a language is not about studying a lot in one day. It is about studying a little bit every day. Podcasts make consistency easy. You can listen for 5 minutes. You can listen for 10 minutes. You can listen while driving, cleaning, cooking, showering, or resting. Consistency creates progress. Podcasts make consistency possible. Now, let me share something personal again. There were days when I did not have time to study. I felt tired. I felt busy. But I could always listen, even for 5 minutes. That small habit created big results. Listening became part of my daily life. It became natural, easy, automatic. That is the secret of podcasts. They fit into your life without effort. Now breathe again. Slowly, gently. Let's talk about how podcasts help you think in English. When you listen often, your brain begins to form English thoughts. These thoughts may be small at first, but they grow over time. For example, you may think, I understand this part. I know this sound. I remember this word. I feel comfortable with this sentence. These are small thoughts, but they are powerful. They show that your mind is starting to use English naturally. Listening also helps your speaking. Even if you are not repeating aloud, your brain is learning how to produce the sounds. Speaking becomes easier when you have listened enough. Your mouth begins to copy the rhythm. Your voice begins to adopt the melody. Your pronunciation becomes more natural. Now let's explore the difference between active and passive listening. Both are useful. Active listening is when you focus on every word. You listen with full attention. This is good for deep understanding. Passive listening is when you listen while doing something else, like cooking, walking, relaxing, or preparing for sleep. This is good for building intuition and comfort with the language. Podcasts allow both kinds of listening. You can use them actively when you want to study. You can use them passively when you want to relax. Both help you grow. Now relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Breathe softly. Let's talk about the connection between listening and memory. When you hear the same voice often, your brain begins to connect the language with comfort. The sound becomes familiar. The voice becomes a friend. This helps your memory absorb more. When you listen to long, slow English sessions like this one, your mind enters a state of calm concentration. This helps your memory store the patterns more effectively. You begin to remember without effort. Now let's talk about something important. Podcasts help you learn naturally without feeling like a student. When you listen to a podcast, you are not taking a test. You are not reading a textbook. You are simply listening, like listening to a friend telling a story. This makes learning enjoyable. Learning should not feel painful. Learning should not feel like pressure. Learning should feel comfortable. Podcasts bring comfort into your learning process. Now breathe again, slowly and deeply. Let's explore how podcasts can help you improve every part of the language. Listening, obviously speaking, through imitation vocabulary, through repetition grammar, through patterns pronunciation, through sound copying confidence, through relaxed exposure comprehension, through natural context thinking, through long listening. You don't need to focus on all of these. They happen automatically. Now, let's explore why podcasts are especially helpful for beginners. When you are a beginner, everything feels difficult. Reading feels difficult. Speaking feels difficult. Grammar feels confusing. But listening can feel calm and simple. You do not need to respond. You do not need to produce. You only need to receive. This reduces pressure. Listening helps beginners build a foundation. It creates the base of understanding. It helps the brain get used to the sounds. Now let's explore how intermediate learners benefit from podcasts. If you already know some English, podcasts help you expand your skills. You learn new words. You get used to longer sentences. You understand faster. You begin to think more in English. Now breathe again. In and out. Let's talk about another important topic. The importance of voice. The voice in a podcast can affect your learning. Some voices are fast, sharp, or stressful. Others are slow, calm, warm, and easy to listen to. The right voice can help your mind relax. This relaxation helps your brain absorb more. That is why this podcast uses a peaceful tone. This helps create a safe environment for learning. Now let's explore how you can use podcasts every day. You can listen in the morning while preparing for your day. You can listen during your commute. You can listen at work during a break. You can listen while you cook dinner. You can listen while exercising. You can listen before sleep. You can fall asleep with English in your ears. Every moment is an opportunity to learn. Now imagine this. You wake up in the morning. You turn on a podcast. You hear a gentle English voice. Your mind wakes up slowly. You start your day with the sound of English. This creates a positive mood. Later, you go for a walk. You listen again. The words accompany you like gentle music. You feel calm. You feel present. You feel connected to the language. In the evening, you sit on your bed. You play another episode. You listen while your body relaxes. You learn without effort. You grow without stress. Now breathe again. In and out. Let's explore how listening can help you understand grammar naturally. Grammar can feel complicated when you study with rules. But when you hear real sentences many times, your brain begins to understand the structure automatically. You begin to know what sounds right and what sounds wrong. This is natural grammar learning. Many children learn grammar without studying. They learn through listening. Adults can learn the same way. Now, let's explore the relationship between listening and confidence. When you listen often, you begin to feel comfortable with the language. You stop feeling afraid. You stop feeling nervous. You begin to enjoy the sound. Confidence grows slowly, but it grows with every minute of listening. Now, let's explore the emotional power of podcasts. Every episode can give you a moment of peace in your day, a moment to breathe, a moment to relax, a moment to connect with English. This emotional connection helps you learn better. Now breathe again, in and out. Let's explore something important. Slow listening. Slow listening is essential for learners. When English is too fast, your mind becomes tired. You feel lost. You feel confused. But slow English allows your mind to follow the rhythm. It allows your brain to process the meaning. It creates space for understanding. This podcast uses slow, gentle English for that reason. Now, let's talk about understanding. Many learners want to understand everything immediately, but learning takes time. Understanding grows little by little. Every moment of listening adds something to your language knowledge. You may not notice the progress immediately, but it is happening. Your brain is working quietly. Your brain is connecting sounds, words, ideas. Every minute counts. Now breathe again. Slowly. Let's explore how podcasts can help you become fluent. Fluency is the ability to speak smoothly and naturally. It does not mean speaking fast. It means speaking clearly. Fluency grows when you listen to natural speech. Your brain copies the rhythm. Your voice imitates the melody. Fluency grows from listening. Now let's talk about how podcasts help with pronunciation. When you listen carefully, you hear the way the speaker pronounces vowels, consonants, and connected sounds. You hear the natural flow of speech. You can copy this. You can practice it. Listening gives it a model. Now imagine this. You're walking outside, earbuds in your ears, listening to a calm English voice. You hear a sentence. You repeat it softly. You feel the sounds in your mouth. You feel the rhythm. This simple practice helps your pronunciation improve. Now breathe again. In and out. Let's explore how podcasts help you build a daily learning habit. Learning a language requires consistency. It is like watering a plant. You need to give it a little water every day. Podcasts make this easy. You can listen every day without stress. You can listen while doing other things. This creates a strong habit. Now let's explore how podcasts help advanced learners too. Even advanced learners can benefit from listening. They can learn new expressions, new vocabulary, new ways of speaking. They can improve their listening speed. They can deepen their understanding. Now breathe again. Slowly. Let's explore how listening helps your brain connect meaning and sound. When you hear a word many times, your brain begins to recognize it instantly. You do not need to translate. You understand directly. This is how you build automatic understanding. Now, let's explore the idea of learning naturally. Learning naturally means learning without force. It means learning without pressure. It means learning with curiosity. Podcasts allow you to learn naturally. When you listen regularly, you begin to enjoy the language. You begin to look forward to listening. This positive emotion helps your brain learn faster. Now let's explore how podcasts help you relax. Listening can bring peace to your mind. It can help you unwind after a long day. It can help you fall asleep. It can help you feel calm. Learning becomes a moment of rest, not stress. Now breathe again. In and out. Let's talk about how listening helps you build listening stamina. At first, listening may feel difficult. You may feel tired quickly. But the more you listen, the more stamina you build. Your brain becomes stronger. You can listen longer. You can understand more. Now let's explore how listening helps you learn English anywhere. You do not need a classroom. You do not need a desk. You do not need a book. You only need your ears and your phone. You can learn anywhere, in the bus, in the car, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the gym. Now let's explore how podcasts help you create emotional memories with English. When you listen while walking in nature, you connect English with peaceful memories. When you listen before sleep, you connect English with rest. These emotional connections help your brain learn more deeply. Now breathe again. Slowly. Let's explore how podcasts help you learn even when your eyes are tired. Reading requires energy. Watching videos requires attention. But listening allows your mind to rest. You can close your eyes. You can relax your body. You can still learn. Now let's explore how listening helps you build intuition. Intuition is the ability to feel what is correct. This comes from listening to the language many times. You develop a sense of the rhythm, structure, and sound. Intuition is powerful. Now breathe again. In and out. Let's explore how podcasts help you enjoy long English sessions. Reading for a long time can be difficult, but listening for a long time can be easy. You can listen for 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes. Long listening sessions create deeper learning. They help your brain adapt to the flow of the language. Now, let's talk about something important. Consistency beats intensity. Listening for 10 minutes every day is better than listening for 1 hour once a week. Podcasts make consistency easy. Now breathe again. Let's explore how learning with podcasts is flexible. You can choose slow episodes, story episodes, conversation episodes, motivational episodes, relaxing episodes. You can choose the mood that fits your day. Now imagine this. You are tired. You sit down. You turn on a slow English podcast. The calm voice relaxes your mind. You listen. You feel better. You learn something new. This simple moment can change your whole day. Now let's explore how podcasts help you feel connected to the language. When you listen often, English becomes part of your life. It becomes part of your world. It becomes familiar, friendly, warm. Now breathe again. Slowly. Let's explore how listening helps you prepare for speaking. Listening is a foundation for speaking. When you hear many sentences, your brain builds a library of patterns. When you speak, your brain uses those patterns. Speaking becomes easier. Now let's talk about how listening helps with understanding accents. Podcasts expose you to different accents, different sounds, different voices. This helps your brain adapt. You become flexible. You become comfortable with variation. Now breathe again. Let's explore how podcasts help you relax after a stressful day. Listening to a soft English voice can bring peace. It can slow your mind. It can reduce anxiety. It can help you sleep. This emotional benefit makes learning easier. Now let's explore how podcasts help you enjoy learning. Learning should be enjoyable. If you enjoy the process, you learn faster. Podcasts bring joy, calmness, and curiosity into your learning journey. Now breathe again. In and out. Let's explore how podcasts help you learn vocabulary without memorizing. You hear words in context. You hear them naturally. You hear them many times. You remember them without force. Now let's explore how podcasts help you learn grammar without studying. Patterns repeat. Sentences repeat. Your brain feels the grammar. You do not need to analyze it. You only need to listen. Now breathe again. Let's explore how podcasts can help you fall asleep with English. Listening before sleep creates a deep connection between English and relaxation. It helps your subconscious absorb the patterns. It helps your mind accept English naturally. Now imagine this. You lie down. You close your eyes. You hear slow English. You feel calm. You fall asleep slowly. English stays with you. This creates a soft connection between learning and sleep. Now breathe again. Let's explore how listening helps you feel confident. When you understand more, you feel proud. You feel strong. You feel positive. Confidence grows slowly. Listening helps build that confidence. Now let's explore how podcasts help you learn at your own pace. You can pause. You can rewind. You can listen again. You can choose the speed. Learning becomes flexible. Now breathe again. Let's explore the final message of this episode. Learning a language with podcasts is powerful. It is natural. It is easy. It is relaxing. It fits into your daily life. It creates consistency. It builds confidence. It improves listening, speaking, vocabulary, grammar, and fluency. You do not need to translate. You do not need to memorize. You do not need to feel pressure. You only need to listen. You only need to relax. You only need to enjoy the journey. Every minute of listening brings you closer to fluency. Every moment of calm English exposure helps your mind grow. Every time you press play, you take one more step forward. You are learning. You are improving. You are growing. You are becoming stronger. And your English is unlocking gently, slowly, naturally. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving yourself this moment of calm learning. Keep listening. Keep growing. Keep moving forward. Your journey continues.